When facing a high-stakes conversation or a crucial conversation, one of the most important elements to ensure results is your motive. What is it that you really want? And the reason it's one of the most important elements is because you can do everything else right in a crucial conversation. You can have the setting right. You can say the right words. And if you get this part wrong, you're likely to fail. What most of us do is we see a situation and we hold court in our heads and we find that other person guilty that we're about to talk to. And the motive that emerges is I want to be right. I want to blame. I want to punish, or I want to avoid this altogether. And instead, I want you to ask yourself in the moment, or if you have the luxury of time to prepare, what is it that you really want for yourself? What is it that you want for the other person? What do you want for your relationship? What do you want for your organization? And the motives that then start to emerge are things like, I want to have a better working relationship with this person. I want to get better results. I want us to both be successful. I want to learn. So I want to give you an example of how asking that question in the moment, what do I really want, can change the trajectory of your conversation and your likelihood of getting the results that you intended. So the other day I heard a colleague of mine speak, and he's someone who has much more power and authority than I do. And I was listening, and right in his opening remarks, he said something that I thought was just really offensive. And my blood was boiling, and I was steaming, and I was sitting in my seat, and then I thought, Candace, you teach this stuff. You teach crucial conversations, how to have effective dialogues. And so I took a deep breath and thought, okay, just go talk to him afterwards. So I got out my pen and I started writing down what I was going to say. So by the time he was finished speaking, I was ready to go talk to him. And so I walk over to him and I was feeling a little confident, and I thought about, America, get out the video cameras, watch the teacher of crucial conversations have a crucial conversation, watch the magic happen. And as I started my opening and shared what I had in my head, he immediately got defensive. And I thought, what did I do wrong? And I realized in that moment that I had indeed held court in my head. I found him guilty of being offensive, and I was just going there to let him know. And anytime we hold court in our heads, we find that other person guilty, we are likely to fail. And in that moment, I asked myself, what do I really want? And so I said to him, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to start the conversation off this way. Can you help me understand what you meant in your opening when you said this? My motive shifted from wanting to be right to wanting to understand. His emotions shifted from being very defensive to smiling and being very open to have a conversation. And he said, I'd be happy to talk about my opening. Why don't we get some coffee, sit down and talk about it? We did. We had a great conversation. I learned that what he said actually wasn't offensive at all, and he explained that in his talk, but I'd stopped listening. And I think that happens a lot in real life. That we see something, we judge, and then we don't even notice that that person has apologized or that they've done something to redeem themselves. And I'd argue that my listening then allowed for him to have more respect for my candor and perspective. He heard what I was trying to say, and he realized maybe other people left like you feeling really offended. And he was really open to coaching and changed the way he presented that speech from there on out. And we had a stronger relationship afterwards. Now, when I say you should have a healthy goal, and you don't want to have a motive of being right or punishing or blaming, I just want to clarify that I am not saying we should be soft. I am not saying we should swipe problems under the rug or that we should be nice. There's more than one way to be direct. What I hope to do today is give you a different way of being direct that will lead you to greater results. One word of caution is that we often say we have a healthy goal, but we don't act like it. What I see happen all the time in the workplace is people say, oh, I'm so approachable. If anyone has an idea, they should come talk to me. If someone has criticism, they should come tell me to my face. If someone's got an idea, I want to hear it. But then when people do approach you, you get defensive. You shut down, you give them the silent treatment. You're half on your BlackBerry, you're not really even listening. And so we say we are approachable, but we don't act like it. And so if there's one thing that you can do to dramatically increase the effectiveness of your crucial conversations, whether you've got 10 days to prepare or 10 seconds, is to ask yourself in the moment, what do I really want?